All right, I think that's it. I think we are live. Hello everyone and welcome. Happy Friday, hope you're all having a great day. I meant to do this much earlier, and this is going to be kind of a new thing for this channel. I've never done anything like this, so forgive me. I'm a big tech nerd, as you guys know, and I read a lot of news, and I'm constantly like searching for a lot of news, you know, across the web, and I felt like I just can never get enough. So I decided that it's about time I do a news show, as those are some of my favorite things to watch. So I know this isn't live, actually. That's going to bring me to my first topic. This is going to be very experimental. Let me just say, it's the first one I've done like this. I'm excited about it. I'm nervous about it. Hopefully it works out well. I got all my things here. I think I'm ready to go. But as I said, this is going to be very experimental. So I can't actually live stream on YouTube right now. I had my live streaming rights taken away. Otherwise, this would be a live streaming show. I'm going to get them back, so in the future it'll be a live streaming show. For now, though, I'm just going to do it like this. There's going to be very little editing. I'm going to act as though it's live and just go with it. And the only editing that's going to take place is my camera only records for 20 minutes at a time. So there'll be like maybe one cut or two when my camera times out, and then I'll just hit re-record, and that'll be the only edits. So this basically, for all intents and purposes, is going to be a live news show, and I'm pretty excited about it. So I hope you guys like it. I have a bunch of different topics I want to talk about. We'll see how long I go. But as I love to rant and rave about technology, there's just too many things happening in the world right now for me to ignore. So it's good to be here with you guys. I'm sorry if I'm over here. I keep checking my feed on my camera. But we're going to do the best and make this work, so let's do it. Yeah. Like I said, there's no editing yet, and I don't really have an intro. So in lieu of that, I'm going to do this. Yeah, guys. Woo. Woo. In breaking news. Let's go ahead and stop that. Or not. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay. So I obviously don't have an intro yet. As I get better at this, we'll do an intro. But I'm just here to have some fun and talk to you about some of the things that are going on in the world this week, the past 7 days, and bring you my opinion on it, because I have lots of opinions about stuff. So here we go. I'm going to fire off all of my main topics and points first. Then we can kind of revisit stuff as we get better at doing this, and as we become live, and you can tweet at me when we do this. It'll be a lot more fun because you can ask questions and tell me what you want to focus on. For now, I'm just going to go over the most important things that I noticed this week in headlines. They're going to be mostly focused on tech. I might bring up a couple other headlines and different world news, so bear with me and we'll see how it goes. First of all, I already talked about it. YouTube live streaming was revoked, so that will happen soon. The reason that happened, in just personal news really quickly, was I was trying to live stream the Apple event like a couple weeks ago, and because my life is very scattered right now, I had some problems with my computer recording, my webcam wasn't working, the frame rate was terrible. So I ended up just live streaming like the audio of the event. There's like frames of the Apple event, but you literally can't even see anything. It's so choppy and horrible that you would see like a frame, and then 10 seconds later you'd see another frame, and it was horrible. So, stupidly, I decided to just, without my webcam working, just stream the event live basically by itself. And I was talking over it, I was making commentary, but I think I got flagged by Apple because they thought I was just trying to like reuse their content. I wasn't, I swear. And anyone who, well, you can't watch the video now because I've made it private and they flagged me for it. But I was trying to make my own content about it and share opinions. And because my webcam wasn't working and because it's terrible, they flagged me. But the thing is, it's so horrible. The quality is so bad that I don't even think they should have flagged me. Like, this is what I'm arguing with YouTube right now to get fixed, is because there's no way that I was literally just trying to make money off of that when the quality is so bad. Like, I hope they understand that it was technical difficulties, but we'll get to that later. So, anyway, hopefully soon my YouTube live streaming will be restored and we can do this whole show live. Oh, and I'm going to plan on doing it every Friday. This is going to be every single Friday. This is a working title, by the way, Frank's News Show. Phoning it in is what I was thinking. Frank's Weekly News, like pwned, P-W-N, but phone, F-W-N. I'm phoning it in. Get ready to phone in the news! Yeah, I don't know. It's a working title. But you can count on this show, whether it's live or pre-recorded. I'm going to do it as best I can every week. Probably be about an hour, maybe more, maybe less. I'm probably going to have some guests on, so that'll be great. But I want to commit to a weekly show you can count on every Friday. And my goal is going to be around Friday, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. That's going to be the goal. We're a little later today, but that's okay. This is the first one, so, you know, you got to start somewhere. So, these are the headlines that are in my mind this week. FedEx fails horribly. That's another personal news story of mine that I'll share first. I also want to take a second just before we even start to mention the fire at Notre Dame. That is horrible. I don't know if you guys heard, there was a huge blazing inferno that took out most of the chapel and the original, what was it, the dome at Notre Dame. A lot of artwork was lost. It's horrible. And I just want to say thoughts and prayers go out to Notre Dame and anyone nearby, and it's just very, very sad. We'll talk a little bit more about that. So these are the other headlines. Joe Biden just announced his presidential campaign officially last night. So that was cool. I guess he's going to be running. We all kind of knew that was going to happen. The Mueller report just came out last week. I have a lot more to say on that. I'm actually going to be doing a full video on the Mueller report. I'm in the middle of reading it now. I'm going to break it down, kind of share a baseline. I'm going to try and keep it as few of opinions as possible. And I'm only going to share, the facts and the things for the people that are too lazy to read it themselves. Wait. So that's great. If you don't know, Barnes & Noble is actually offering free copies of the Mueller report through the Nook app. So whether you have a Nook account or not, go to Barnes & Noble, set up a free Nook account, download the Mueller report, read it for yourself. I always encourage, don't believe anything I say. I am just one man. I have opinions. Do the research yourself. Knowledge is power. You can never be lied to and never be tricked if you know your stuff. Oh, that's the other only thing. Since this is my first one, if I curse, and I'm not used to doing anything like this, if I curse or I mess up or, anything else, I might do a slight edit. But I'm going to try and keep it as raw and unedited as possible. Okay, we got our first picture of a black hole, which is pretty cool. That's very exciting. A lot of people have been talking about that and wondering how to interpret that. Let's see. Apple and Qualcomm settled their lawsuit. That's good. So hopefully that means that Apple will be getting 5G modem chips sooner than 2020. I doubt it's going to happen in 2019, but that would be amazing because Apple, you can't fall that far behind. That's ridiculous. 2020, that's kind of ridiculous. The other funny thing was almost the same day, I think, that Apple and Qualcomm settled, Intel announced that they were going to be leaving, their departure from the 5G cellular chip market. Gee, I wonder if that was a coincidence or not. No, not at all. It was no coincidence. The only reason Intel was even working on 5G modem chips was for Apple. So now that they're settling, I don't know. It seems like Intel's going to be focusing on, gaming stuff, and they're doing a lot of interesting things. So that's interesting. Also related to 5G, Verizon just launched its actual 5G cellular network a week ahead of schedule in certain markets. Seems to be pretty cool and fast, as the initial reports say. Britain has decided to go with Huawei for their 5G deployment, despite concerns of privacy and spyware, and how like Chinese intelligence agencies are hugely funding in Huawei. Basically, the Chinese CIA is one of the biggest funders of Huawei, so that seems a little sketchy to me. We'll talk more about that. AT&T and Sprint settled their 5G suit. Sprint was actually filed a lawsuit against AT&T because AT&T, I don't know if you guys noticed this. I had a couple friends that reported this. On their iPhone 10S Maxes, is that what they're called? I hate their freaking their naming scheme right now, because it's just awful and ugly and clunky. But he was telling me, he was like, what is this? And there appeared this little 5GE logo on their phones. And AT&T was just claiming that they have 5G. And they did this, if you guys remember, they actually did this with the rollout of 4G. So AT&T's up to their same old tricks. They're just kind of dishonest. It's not real 5G, guys. It's a fake 5G. They just wanted to put that logo there. AT&T's not ready for their 5G network. They're not even, they're close, but they're not deploying it yet. So Sprint sued them because of this, because Sprint actually has their 5G network already kind of up and running, and they were like, what the hell? This is not cool. You're kind of taking it away. And then Sprint just dropped the lawsuit. I'm pretty sure it's because AT&T just dropped a bunch of money in their lap to settle out of court, and now they're going to keep using that logo. So if you see that 5GE logo, be warned, don't be fooled. That's not real 5G. That is fake 5G. Let's see, what else? Oh, this sucks. I'm really bummed about this. There was a rumor going around for a little while that Xbox Game Pass was going to come to the Nintendo Switch. So Microsoft and Xbox are working pretty hard on cross-platform integration and gameplay. They're one of the leaders in this, and I'm pretty excited for anything that comes. And I was so excited the Game Pass is going to come to Xbox. I mean the Nintendo Switch. Can you imagine getting to play Halo, Apex Legends, Battlefield, any of our favorite Xbox titles on your Nintendo Switch anywhere you go? That would be a game changer. I've had so many friends I talked to about this that already were like, oh, that would be it. I'd finally go buy a Nintendo Switch then. So I think Nintendo is missing a huge opportunity if they don't do this. It seems like Nintendo has been very outspoken that they're not going to do this. I think that's a huge missed opportunity. So we'll just say a prayer and take a moment of silence for that if it's not going to happen. Amazon, this might be a little bit older news, but I just thought this was interesting. In Amazon's ongoing quest to dominate the world, there's this new thing called Amazon Project Keiper. It's based on the Keiper Belt. I think it's named after the Keiper Belt. It's not based on it. They have announced that they're going to be launching 3,200, it's more than that, but roughly 3,200 satellites into low Earth orbit that are going to be beaming down internet to different remote places of the world that don't have the infrastructure to get internet to them. Facebook's doing a similar thing. They're trying to get internet to Africa because Africa is a largely untouched and untapped market for them. I don't know. I think that's a good idea. I love the internet, obviously. It's great. It's changed my life. I don't know what I would do without the internet. I don't know how people still live without the internet. Oh, that's the other thing. I just got back from Peru. I just got back from Peru. And it was an amazing trip. I'll tell you guys about that later. I've been doing a lot of... I'm going to be doing a couple of videos just on Peru. But the crazy thing is, like, the cities have internet, but there's a lot of remote rural places in Peru that just have not only no internet, but barely any power and no drinking water. And it's crazy. Like, in my mind, I think technology is the answer to every single problem we have. Like, every problem, whether it's health or education or transportation, you name it. It's the answer to every single one of our problems. So if you had like a solar power internet generator thing that you could plunk down in all these towns in Peru, like Maras, for example. Maras, beautiful, beautiful town on the side of a hill. They get no water, no rain all year, and they're just living in dirt, and it's horrible, you know? And we did what we could for them while we were there, but if you could give them internet and give them a solar-powered, you know, water filtration system or something, that would change their lives. So I know I'm like, ooh, Western culture, look at this first world guy talking about trying to fix their problems with the internet, but I really do think there's some legitimacy to this. We'll talk further on this. Again, I have opinions on many things, and a lot of this is just going to be me ranting and being angry at people, because I'm angry at a lot of people for not doing their freaking jobs. But that's okay. Take a breath. I got my water here, got my coffee, I'm good to go. I'm already having fun. I don't know about you guys. This is awesome. I'm really excited to be doing this. So the other, I'm kind of dwelling on some of these, and we'll circle back to them if I feel like it, but I'm just kind of going with the flow. We were talking about Amazon and Facebook. So Facebook has these plans to launch, you know, satellites and to get internet into the more rural parts of the world that don't have it. There was this huge Facebook scam in other Facebook news. There was this big scam that just happened, and of course, another Facebook scam. Yeah, you guys, this is why I don't use Facebook. I do have an account. I've actually been thinking about deleting it or even removing my pictures from it, because as long as that's on their platform, they own it all. If you remove it, they store it, but it's not their property. You could sue them if they used your photos that you have since deleted. But as long as it's there, it's their property. They can sell it. They can do what they want with it. So just be careful. Keep your privacy settings tuned all the way up, as mine are. And I almost never use Facebook. I use Instagram. I use YouTube, obviously, and I use Twitter, and that's basically it. I've even stopped using Snapchat, which I'm sorry, because my really good friend works for Snapchat, and I complained to him a lot about when Snapchat converted last year. They converted to the, oh my god, we are eating up time. I love it. I'm going to have to hit record again in 3 more minutes because we're almost at that 20-minute mark already. I love it. This is great, see? This is why I need to be sitting down and having this dialogue with you every week, because I have so much I need to talk about. When Snapchat switched over last year to the new format, where the stories were no longer on the one page, but they were over on your messages page, I didn't like it. I know they have a lot of new things like Snap Maps, and yeah, it's great. Platforms need to evolve. They need to get better. They can't stay the same forever. I get it. But it lost me then, and it lost a lot of my friends, and I haven't used it since then. Most of my friends that even use it don't even use it for stories anymore. They only use it for messaging. So that's a thing. Anyway, sorry, back to Facebook. So Facebook's 2 newest scams are, one, that they were actually asking for your email passwords to sign in. So there's a couple different things I'm going to talk about here. Let me even make a note. So they were asking users to enter their passwords not for Facebook. When logging into Facebook, mind you, people that were logging into Facebook were being asked for their email passwords to log in. And this is like crazy. Like, why would they need that, right? Well, you know how sometimes, like, if you are logging into a new device with Facebook, it'll ask you to like verify this device with a password generator or key code security generator, or if you restore your password, it'll like ask you to check your email for something. So Facebook's logic behind this was that instead of having users check their email, if you give them your email password, they can log into your email for you and check that verification code to verify you. which seems like a crazy amount of privacy violation. Like, that's so unnecessary and ridiculous. Not to mention that Facebook many times has been already caught with terrible, poor security, not encrypting people's passwords, not encrypting people's files. So I doubt that they were storing this any kind of secure thing. 53 seconds. I'll get this out and I'm just going to hit record, so don't mind the cut. It's going to go right into it. But I don't want to interrupt my train of thought. So I'm just really worried about this. Like, again, be careful with Facebook. It is... I really swear one of these days it's going to pull the world down. It's going to bring the world crumbling to its knees with Facebook. And there was a thing where Facebook a couple months ago or recently was caught storing people's Instagram passwords in a plain text document that was completely unencrypted. So literally anyone that had access to Facebook servers or anything could look at this document and see people's passwords on Instagram. Like, what are you thinking, Facebook? What the... And we're back. Right? We're good. Okay, we're good again for another 20 minutes. I don't know if you guys are still hanging in there this long, or if you'll even hang on for each cut or whatever, but hopefully this is interesting to you guys, because this blows my mind. This is the reason I'm up at night and can't get sleep, is because I'm worried about the powers that be and if we can trust them and what's happening in the world. Like, I've said it a bunch of times, and I know you have to earn this or whatever, but I wish that I was the CEO of Apple or Facebook, or even if they just consulted me on decisions, because so many of the decisions that these super high-ranking people in these companies that we depend on every day and just trust blindly are making terrible decisions not in our favor. And it's not always blatantly to like violate our trust or screw us over, but the logic behind a lot of the choices just seems ridiculous. Like, who thought this was a good idea? That's why we're here. That's why I'm here to talk to you guys and make this video, and why I'm going to be doing this on the regular, so we can have this discussion and we can bring it to people's attention. I haven't even gotten through the bullet points yet. I'm still just going over my outline here of what I wanted to talk about. So we'll bounce around a lot. It's feeling pretty organic right now. As soon as we get through the bullet points, I might just be ranting. So that's the other thing. I'm trying to talk about what I prepared. And also, by the way, guys, I've never prepared more for a video in terms of research and scripting out what I was going to say. I'm still, you know, just kind of going with the flow and improvising, but I also just like want you to know how much work I'm going to be putting into these videos to make sure I'm giving you real headlines, things that matter, not just opinions besides mine, but, you know, very interesting points. So on the Facebook thing and the Instagram, it's ridiculous. They need to encrypt that. When is Facebook going to learn? I can't believe it again. One of the biggest tech companies in the world, if not the. What are they thinking? Come on, dude. Mark, really? Zuck, get it together. Or ask me for help. I'll help you for a fee. The last thing I'll say about that is there's this thing that apparently Facebook now is going to be, they already separated them, now they're going to be remerging them. Apparently Facebook thinks it's a good idea to put the Messenger side of Facebook back in the Facebook app. A while ago they pulled Messenger out, made it a separate app. Don't know why, probably something to do with advertising. They think it's better to remerge it. I think this is weird. Messenger's a great app, but it works. It already works on its own. So I don't understand why they're going to be doing that. We'll see what happens with that. Let's see. Oh, I'll talk about this briefly as a brief change over from tech news, and then we'll get back to some more tech news. And then I'm just going to rant for a little bit at the end. And then we'll end it, and then we'll see how it does. Not expecting to get a lot of views on this, but again, first of many news shows. So I'm really personally excited about this. So I love meat. I love to eat meat. I love bacon. I love cheese, another animal product. And I'm a distance runner, so I don't really have a problem eating tons of cheese and burgers every day and staying healthy. But the other side of me, I'm a compassionate guy. Like, I don't want to be killing animals. The treatment of these animals oftentimes is terrible. Whether it's I don't eat chicken, by the way. For the most part, I do not eat chicken because I never really liked chicken even as a kid, the taste. And as I grew up, I started to have this feeling like I could almost taste the hate in the meat and the pain, because it just tastes, there's something about chicken that tastes weird to me. I really, for the most part, haven't eaten chicken in years, maybe once or twice a year. Well, I would like to stop killing animals in mass exodus, this brutal mass slaughter of animals. Most of the time, it's not even in a humane way. And there's hormones, and also the fact that, I don't know if people are aware of this, but something like 60% of the water in this country goes to like just growing meat to slaughter. Don't quote me on that, the numbers are probably off, but there's an inordinate amount of resources that could be going to humans that we are using to feed these cows to then just slaughter them. It doesn't make sense. So again, technology to the rescue. In the future, my solution to this is I want to get to the point where it's completely organically identical to grow parts of the cow or parts of the pig from stem cells without ever needing to kill an animal, and still get to enjoy real bacon and real meat and beef and pork and whatever. That to me is the future, and they're working on it. That's not in this new show. I'll talk about that in the future. But for now, there's still a movement going on. If you guys don't know about Impossible Burger or Beyond Burger, I love both of them. As a meat eater that has never been happy with any tofu or fake meat product before, these products are game changers. If you haven't heard about it, it's called the meat that bleeds. And it's because it's completely organic, plant-based meat. And this scientist created in a lab this thing called heme, and it's this plant thing. It's like it's a plant-based thing, and it cooks and it bleeds like meat, and it turns pink, and it has the texture of meat. I'm very big on food texture. Like, there are foods I enjoy the taste and I cannot eat because the texture is weird. This texture is really, really close to meat, and it's super delicious. And I love it. I eat it as much as I can. The only thing I think that's prohibitive right now is the price. It's a little expensive. It's like $6 for 2 patties. Like, it's kind of, but it's delicious and it's great. Beyond Burger is sold in stores, and then Impossible Burger is more of like a commercial product. You can get it at restaurants. Like, Fat Burger's had it for a while. Certain restaurants, if you go on the website for Impossible Burger or Beyond Burger, you can find where to buy it or get it at a restaurant. So here's the new news. That's old news. Here's the new news. Taco Bell is now announcing and just starting to do Impossible Tacos. No, scratch that. Sorry, not Taco Bell. Screw Taco Bell. It's not Taco Bell. Del Taco. My bad. Del Taco is going to be doing Impossible Tacos made from this plant-based meat that I haven't tried them yet. They only just started. I was reading this story on Monday, and I called my local Del Taco. They were like, we don't have them yet. We're getting them in on the 25th. Today's the 26th, Friday the 26th. That means that actually, after this video is done, I'm going to go get them. That's what I'm doing for dinner. I'm going to go to Taco Bell and get some Impossible Del Taco. I'm going to go to Del Taco and get some Impossible Tacos for dinner, because that's amazing. So at the next news show, I will have a report to tell you about it. Who knows, maybe I'll even do a video about it alone. But I'm really excited about this because I've made Impossible Tacos myself at home with the ground beef, but you have to buy a decent amount of it depending on how many people you're making tacos for. So again, cost prohibitive. I think this is a great move on Del Taco's part. I'm hoping it makes a big difference. I'm loving this trend. Also, not just Del Taco, Impossible Whoppers. So there was this event in Vegas yesterday. Whoops. Nope, can't talk to you right now. And my Do Not Disturb is on. What is happening? Oh, you're on my favorites list. Sorry, buddy. I I know it's late, so sorry guys, but actually it's funny because, like I said, Del Taco told me, my local Del Taco told me that they were going to be getting Impossible Tacos yesterday, which is the 25th. On the 24th, Wednesday, Vegas was doing this special thing where Burger King was going to be giving out free Impossible Whoppers. Because yes, my friends, now Burger King has the Impossible Whopper. It's spreading like wildfire, and I freaking love it. I'm so thankful to these scientists that created and engineered this. And I'm very thankful to the CEOs or whoever's decision it was, both at Del Taco and Burger King, to implement this. I really hope it's going to be a wave of change. And now the only thing I have left is I need Impossible Bacon. Beyond Bacon, please bring it to me. Then I can almost go full vegan. Well, I can go vegetarian. I'll need some really good vegan cheese. I'm not against it. It just needs to taste as good. And again, texture. Sorry if I'm talking fast. I had some coffee. I'm very excited. I'm having fun. And again, I'm noticing how quickly the time is being eaten up, and I really don't want to just bore you guys to death. So for now, I'm going to try and keep it at an hour, which means that we're about halfway through, and maybe I'll do it shorter, but I just want to make sure I have enough time for this first episode ever to talk about all the things that are on my mind this week. Because as we know, I have a lot of videos that I like to do, and I never finish because I'm a perfectionist. That is one of the good things about this, is there's going to be no editing. It's basically live. In the future, hopefully it will be live again. But when I sit on videos, sometimes I have a topic that's really interesting, and then the amount of time it takes me to get the video out, the topic becomes obsolete or old news. So there could be really interesting things that I want to talk about, and if I don't do it this week, next week it's boring. And no one cares. I don't even care anymore. I've lost my excitement for it. And if I'm not excited, then you're not going to be excited about it. So it's important to do this in a timely manner and get to everything. Hold on one second as I review my notes here. But yeah, anyway, Impossible Tacos, Impossible Whopper, very, very exciting. You like my cup? Yeah. I am a musician as well. Wow, big shocker. He's an actor in Hollywood and a musician and a YouTuber. Okay, back to tech news. Let's see. Ooh, PS5 was just announced. That's exciting. I don't own a PlayStation, which is sad. I own 2 Xboxes. 2 Xbox Ones. Well, 1 Xbox One and 1 Xbox One X, because, you know, local gaming doesn't exist anymore. So in order to even play with my friends, I have to have 2 TVs and 2 Xboxes in the same room, which I do, because I'm a nerd. But again, anyway, there's all this talk about the PS5 and the new Xbox. The new Xbox, I think, is going to be stupid, kind of, even though I've always been an Xbox person. I actually have owned every other PlayStation besides the PS4. PlayStation, the original, and 2, and 3. Just with money these days, I didn't have enough money to buy a PlayStation and an Xbox, and when it came time for buying a new console, again, I opted for a second Xbox instead of a PlayStation, because most of my friends just happen to play on Xbox, and again, for being able to play locally, like with my buddies here. Well, I miss the days of GoldenEye, man. Being able to sit in a room with your friends and battle it out. Like, what happened to that? Microsoft and everyone just separating us all so that we're all isolated and we don't have human interaction anymore. It's kind of sad, as much as I love technology. Ooh, and there's a couple of... Oh, man, there's so much awesome stuff to talk about. I might have to do a revisit on this. Maybe I'll do a part 2 in the middle of the week. I don't want to overextend myself. Maybe I'll revisit this next week. But PS5 was announced, so the reason I'm not happy with the new Xbox is because they announced that there's going to be no optical drive, which I get it. They almost didn't even put an optical drive on the last one. My Xbox is the only Blu-ray player I even have around anymore. I mean, I have an optical drive in my computer still because I built it and I wanted a Blu-ray burner, which no one needs anymore, but I wanted it. But to not have an optical drive, I feel like it just limits your options. I know they're trying to get away from moving parts. There's faster things. It's going to be all over the air. You're going to download your games. They're already at that point. And with Google Stadia coming out, if you don't know what that is, that's Google's cloud-based gaming platform that's going to compete with AAA titles on Xbox and PlayStation. I'll believe it when I see it. But I don't like it when people take things away from me. Like, we already have an optical drive. Can we have an optional optical drive Xbox and non-Xbox? And I know they'll sell way less, but like, can we have the option? That would be cool. Let consumers choose, you know? And then how's it going to be backwards compatible? That's the cool thing about PS5. They've already announced PlayStation 4 complete backwards compatibility right out the gate. So I guess they could invent some system where you like scan your game's barcode and then Xbox Online Store knows that you have the rights to it and you can download it, but then how are they going to prevent people from just borrowing their friends' games and scanning it, you know? Like, maybe they could come up with some system where each barcode can only be scanned once. But then what if you have like a used game? Like, what if you buy a used game, then you can't use it? Like, there's just a lot of problems. I would love to see an option for an optical drive in the Xbox One 2, whatever the next one is. There's a name for it. I forget what it's called. There's a code name internally for it. Maybe maybe have the option. Ooh, here's a good idea. What about having the option of an external drive? You can connect an external Blu-ray drive to your Xbox One, and then you can have backwards compatibility with all your discs and games. Maybe that would be an option. Microsoft could sell it as an add-on, or they could also just let third-party Blu-ray external discs, optical drives work. Words are hard. Yeah, I don't know. So there's a long list of specs. PS5 is going to be super crazy. It's going to have ray tracing. It's going to be the bee's knees. A lot of people are saying it's going to be the end of computer gaming because you're going to have keyboard compatibility, mouse compatibility, all this stuff. I have a lot of friends that do not like consoles. I get it. They like the mouse compatibility, sure. I just think with the expandability of a PC, I'm even at the point where I've been a console gamer. Excuse me. I've been a console gamer my whole life. I had almost every single system that existed since I've gotten into games, since the NES, since the NES. I have had almost every single NES, SNES, Nintendo 64, PlayStation, Sega Saturn, Sega CD, Game Boy, everything. I've always been a console gamer, and I love console games because of the ease and the joysticks, even though my friends say it's inferior. I'm at the point where I'm about to move over to PC gaming because of the versatility it has, because of the customization that it has, because of the upgradability that it has. Like I said, I built my own custom Hackintosh PC dual boot, Mac OS and Windows 10, and it's great, but when I built it, I actually did not buy a graphics card because I was waiting for this kind of urge to strike in me. At the time, it has onboard graphics that are amazing, and I don't do a lot of graphic intensive things. I edit on my Mac, but the onboard graphics are fine. In iMovie and Final Cut Pro, 4K editing, onboard graphics, no problem. So like, I have a rig over here that's built and ready to go. All I need is an updated graphics card. And if I would have bought one 2 years ago when I built the thing, it would be so obsolete by now. So I'm at the point where I'm about ready to take the plunge into computer gaming instead of console gaming. Like, I want to go the opposite direction. I just think, you know, with Steam and everything and VR. Oh yeah. I have my ALEXA set to COMPUTR as the code word because I just think that's cooler and it sounds like I'm in Star Trek, you know, like, computer, 5 parsecs to the nearest mile. I don't know. I haven't watched Star Trek in a while.
95,867,558,000,000 miles. Answer your question?
Yes.
Thanks for your feedback.
Oh, Alexa, you're awesome. I actually have to be careful saying that word too, though, because I have 3 Alexa devices in this house. Good. Didn't hear me. And they're all set to different code words so that I can activate each one with a different word. Yeah. Oh my god, I forgot I was going to show you pictures too. I'm flying through this stuff and I'm having fun, but I've only been talking and I haven't been showing you any pictures. So, we're jumping around here a lot and we're talking about a lot of things. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, PS5 and backwards compatibility. Yeah, exactly. Go check it out. It'll be compatible with PSVR, all the same things. It's going to be awesome. This is a quick side note and wasn't on here, but I'm just going to say it. I'm sad that Cortana is basically dead. Like, she was my favorite digital assistant, honestly, better than Siri, better than Alexa, better than Google Now. Her voice was the best. She was the funniest. I thought she had a lot of, like, humanistic quips and responses. And I'm also a Halo fan. I used to play the crap out of Halo. So I thought it was brilliant branding and marketing when Microsoft chose to make their digital assistant Cortana. And now, for all intensive purposes, it's basically dead. There's a YouTube video I've been editing for like literally 2 years that I haven't finished that compares Cortana and Alexa and Google Now and Siri and all that stuff. Maybe it'll come out one day. It'll be way late, but I might just publish it anyway for fun. But I just had to share my thoughts about that. I'm pretty sad. I have the adapter for my Xbox One X to use my Xbox One Connect because I love it. And I use it for streaming. And I think it's awesome, and I'm just sad about it. So, rip Cortana. There was something else I was going to say on here, and then I forgot. I didn't take a note, but that's okay. If it's meant to come up, it will. We have 48 seconds, guys, till the next cut. So I'm sorry. Here, I'll tell you what. Before the cut, that way we don't have to start with something sad on the next one. I just wanted to show you some pictures from the Notre Dame fire. Kind of sucks. I know my exposure is really high, so you might not be able to see that. But you can see it was like kind of devastating. Yeah, it was not fun. I wanted to just kind of show you that. Look it up yourself. Ooh, maybe that'll help. Can you see that better? There you go. Turn the brightness down. It was not a good time. So, anyway. 5, 4, 3, 2. Alright guys, that's it. We are in the last segment. We're back. We're back after the cut, even though it was like not a cut. It's basically live. And we're in the final segment. We're in the home stretch. We're in the last 20 minutes of our 3 20-minute segments. So that's cool. Having fun. Haven't even gotten through my outline. I was like preparing so much stuff to talk about. I didn't think I was going to be able to talk for an hour, and I very clearly can talk for an hour. So, about a lot of stuff. So, this is exciting and also interesting because I could probably do this new show for 2 hours and just rant and talk. I didn't even get into the ranting portion. So, let's just really quickly finish the last couple headlines, outlines, points, bullet points that I wanted to talk about, and then we will get to the ranting. So, let's see, I talked about that. Oh, Jack Dorsey this week met with Trump to discuss the health of public conversation and also platform bias coming into the new 2020 election. I think that's great. I hope Jack was telling Trump to not be so hateful and prejudiced and instigating and a dick. Sorry for any of you guys who like Trump. I do not, but that's my opinion. I don't think everything he's done is bad. I don't just hate him outright. I don't hate anything outright. I like to look at the issues, you know? I like to break it down. So I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. I'm somewhere in the middle. There's no issue that falls always on this side or always on this side. That's just not how it is, ever. That's not how I view it. I think things are not that black and white. There's a lot of gray area in the middle, and you really have to look at each issue individually and break it down. But there's a lot of things that, again, the powers that be, the one at the top, I'm like, what the hell were you thinking when you tweeted this or said this? So I'm glad that Jack Dorsey is at least trying to take a little bit of responsibility, try and like help Trump not be such a just hateful moron. I don't know what else to say. There's a better, more elegant way to say that, but that is what I'll leave it for now. Because, in a perfect transition, Trump was complaining to Jack Dorsey in this meeting about how he thinks that there's a bias on Twitter against him. No, there isn't. The bias is that you're creating the bias by the things you say. Like, again, don't believe me, do your own research. I'm not trying to polarize anyone here. If you just heard me say this and click off, then so be it. But don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything he tweets. His things are always very like, we may be the best economy in the world that's ever seen. It possibly is the most amazing economy ever. No, there's a reason he says possibly and all these open-ended vague things, because he's full of crap. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Half the things he says are blatant lies, and you can find that out with a quick Google search. Don't believe me. Not trying to make anyone angry. Take anything he says, everything he says, and Google it before you believe it, because there's a lot of misinformation that guy spreads. And in my opinion, misinformation is one of the most deadly things on the planet. Misinformation can get you killed, by the way, in extreme circumstances, but still. So, anyway. Also, I thought it was kind of messed up. Democratic Representative, how is it? Ilhan Omar? I don't know how that's pronounced, I'm sorry. It's the Middle Eastern Democratic Representative. She has like, you know, the classic Middle Eastern look. I don't want to say anything. I don't know if it's a, you know, a turban. I think that's an old, outdated term, so I apologize. But she looks very classically Middle Eastern. There was a tweet that Trump tweeted out that caused her to get a lot of death threats because he's such a jackass, doesn't care. And Representative Omar was like asking Jack Dorsey, like, hey, is there anything we can do about this? Like, what the hell? Can you pull the tweet? I'm like, her life is in danger now because of Trump's tweet. That is uncool. I wish I could put out a tweet that would make Trump's life in danger. And have him just, not to actually put it in danger, just to have him feel what it's like for the hate mongering that he puts out. But again, I'm sorry, I'm getting very emotional here. So I'll rein it back a little. I don't know about that. I think that's a little inappropriate. I think when people's safety is in jeopardy, that's more important than, like, I believe in free speech completely. Completely. No end. Free speech to the max. You should be able to say whatever you want, as long as it's not, like, I mean, obviously there are certain things about free speech I can't say. Like, you know, you can't threaten the president. You can't, like, say certain things that would be considered anti-patriotic. Not like I would, because I love this country. There's things we do wrong. But, again, so I don't know. There's a lot of thoughts. I should get more gathered before I speak on that. The last thing I'll say on that was President Trump was complaining because he lost a bunch of followers on Twitter. And he was like, what happened? And Jack Dorsey was basically like, yeah, all those accounts were bots. We deleted all the bots. So all the followers you lost were fake accounts. And Trump was pissed about it, but what are you going to do? That's a problem we all deal with, Mr. President. All right. Apple's not doing great. That's one of my rants I want to talk about. I'm going to finish the last couple things and then the last couple news points, and then I have like 13 minutes to rant about stuff. Who knows? Maybe I might do an hour and 15 for this one. For this first one. Okay, so the last big topics I want to talk about. I think I've gotten everything else. Oh, I wanted to show you photos of the black hole. I didn't show you photos. That's cool. Black hole photos, awesome. Love it. Space, very cool. I want to go to space. I thought for a brief period about becoming one of those first settlers on Mars in 2024 when Elon's sending everyone there, but then I realized no, terrible. Well, not terrible, just your life would be, yeah. You would have no life, you'd have to say goodbye to all your friends, and you'd never come back. Not because you die, you might die. But yeah, so black hole photos, I'll show you some maybe. If you haven't seen them here, let's just do that now really quick. I have it open right here because I was trying to prepare. So you can see it's pretty freaking cool. We've never photographed a black hole before. There's lots of amazing things to look at. It's kind of awesome. I'm really excited about it. I love space exploration. We don't know anything about space. So yeah, people are probably going to be like, all those photos are just Google photos. They're not real black hole. There's only like a couple official black hole photos that we just took. So sorry, but I'm just excited. Trying to get you guys excited. It's awesome. Like, space, man, come on. 2001. I can't let you do that, John. What is it? I can't let you do that, John. That's not his name. Hal the computer. Oh, a little fun fact in case those of you who don't know. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Hal, H-A-L. Did you guys know that the reason they named it Hal is because those are all the letters that follow IBM? IBM, H-A-L. Little fun fact for you. Okay. Tesla has its self-made, self-driving computer ready. It is done. Instead of borrowing other people's technology, it is producing the chips and the systems and the computers to make its self-driving system. It's done. It's ready. It's awesome. I'm excited. I freaking love Tesla. They're changing the world in many ways. And they say that by 2020, they're going to have version 2 of it ready. That's going to be even better. It's going to be super full autonomous. It's going to be amazing. And I'm all on board for that. I love it. I want self-driving cars. I want them now. Not afraid of them. Humans are stupid, panicky people. They're bad drivers. I think in the future, people are going to look back at our time now and laugh at the fact that we actually allowed humans to drive ourselves around in cars, in these big, heavy, moving death machines that can just mow people down. I think that's going to be a really funny thing. They're going to be like, wow, can you believe we were that stupid to let people drive themselves? I don't know. I'm excited about it. Full-on driving cars. I know automation is scaring a lot of people because it's taking away a lot of jobs. Yeah. We'll do another episode on that. I have a lot of thoughts on that. Fortnite. There is the... What is happening? Oh, there we go. There is the Fortnite Avengers Endgame crossover. If you guys didn't know about that. It's pretty exciting. I don't play Fortnite that much anymore. I used to love Fortnite. I still kind of love Fortnite. I think it's getting a little crazy. I liked it when it was simpler. I haven't really played that much this season. I played a lot Season 7 and Season 8 and almost every other season, but I'm outgrowing it, you know? But I've heard from a lot of people that this endgame is really cool. It's a really cool crossover. So if you guys remember back in Season 5 of Fortnite, they had the whole Thanos thing where you could like become Thanos with the Avengers glove thing. And it was like a battle, like you were it was like King of the Hill almost, or like not King of the Hill, but like you had superpowers and you were versus everyone, and it was kind of a cool concept. So there's doing another crossover. You can get Captain America's shield, you can get Thor's hammer, you can get a bunch of like the Avengers weapons and battle against Thanos to, am I saying that? Is that Thanos? Yeah. To like battle it out. That's pretty cool. I'm excited. I'm probably going to pop in Fortnite after this and check it out. I've been looking at everything. It doesn't look that compelling to me. But again, that's because my time has been going to Apex Legends these days. I freaking love Apex Legends. I think Apex Legends is in the sweet spot right now where, again, I used to play Halo. I never really was a Call of Duty person just because I don't like it to be too realistic. That's my taste. I don't know, like, I get it. You're killing someone, it's a battle, there's blood and gore and whatever and death. Yeah. But I don't like these games where they're like super uber realistic, where you take like one shot and then you're dead. That's no fun to me. It gives players the advantage that know the game. I like a more balanced game like a Halo or a Destiny before it also went down the crapper. Before they broke it with Destiny 2. That has a little bit more balance. There's force fields. There's some sci-fi aspects to it. Again, space. I love sci-fi. So when Fortnite came out, it was cool because it was cartoony. But it was still just a little weird. I don't like the third-person aspect. I'm a much more first-person shooter. PUBG, same thing. It's great, but it's too realistic. Apex Legends, to me, is right in the butter zone, where it's like, it's a first-person shooter. It's really fun. you have a lot of like shields and like magical abilities, and like each character has their own special abilities. So if you haven't checked it out and you're a first-person shooter fan, check it out. It is amazing. I love it. It's my new favorite game. It's where all my game time is going to these days. Like, it's basically the only game I play anymore. Aside from, I'm in a couple tournament leagues for video games, and I do streaming of other games on Twitch and YouTube for tournaments only. Rocket League, you know. The cool news about Apex Legends is, what's the studio that, Valve? It's not Valve. Anyway, the studio, I know you guys are going to yell in the comments, but the studio that produces Apex Legends just announced that in order to discourage players from quitting early, there's going to be a penalty for leaving a match early. So if you start quitting too many matches early just because you don't like that you're not the jump master, or that someone else chose your character, then you're going to get penalized, and you may not be able to join a match right away. I think that's great. I think it's going to discourage me from quitting games early. I don't do it that often. I try not to. But especially knowing that I could get penalized, it's like, okay, just deal with it. Really quick rundown for those guys that don't know. It's the same thing as Fortnite. It's a battle royale, drop in from a plane over the island to the death battle. You have to find all your weapons. You as a team. Squads are only 3 right now. Squads of 3, and there's no solo mode, so you can't do it solo unless you just like drop in with 3 people and then leave, or like walk away from them, which is not cool. Stop it. But it's a lot of fun. Check it out. Apex Legends. Yeah, if you've been living under a rock and you haven't heard about it. We are going to have to do one more segment, guys, because I got 6 more minutes and I'm not nearly done. But the last segment will not be a full 20 minutes probably, because that would be like an hour 20. Guess that's doable for those of you guys really looking for news and opinions. I hope by now you can tell that I'm not just some jerk spouting off opinions. I consider myself pretty educated on this stuff and pretty smart when it comes to technology and video games. And I really want to just make sure that the important things are being talked about and the changes that need to be addressed are being addressed. So hopefully you're on board with this. Okay. Bitcoin. Yeah, I know Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency, whatever. Mixed bag. I'm a little salty about it because I made a lot of money on Bitcoin, and then I lost a lot of money on Bitcoin, and then I made a decent amount of money on Bitcoin, and then because of the volatility of it last year, I sold it, and now it's gone up again a lot. Whatever. I still made I made a lot of money. I literally made, per my investment, I have a 2,000% profit. So that's, you know, but I could have made more money. So Bitcoin's been kind of going back up, if anyone who's been following it. A lot of people think it's a trend. I do not think it's a trend. I think Bitcoin and cryptos are here to stay. Cryptocurrencies are going to change the way the world works. It's already happening. For those of you that just don't believe in it, start believing in it. JP Morgan just announced that they're inventing their own cryptocurrency called like Chase Coin or something. People are getting into it. It's a lucrative thing. It's something that's very important, and you might want to look into cryptos. There's a lot of other cryptos. There's Monero, there's Litecoin, and they're all doing well. None has done as well as Bitcoin yet, but they're based on the blockchain, and I think there's some very exciting things happening there, so you should look into crypto. And then, of course, I think this is the last topic I'm going to say before I get into my rant. And I will review everything. Oh my God. Okay, I'll keep that in the rant. There was one thing I wanted to say at the beginning of everything, but that's personal news, so that'll be the last. Maybe this will be the format is I'll do like 40 minutes to an hour of news and then 20 minutes of rant. But the last thing is, of course, how could I not? Samsung Galaxy Fold Gate. Okay, so this is a perfect place to end the news and go into transition for ranting, because I have a lot to say about this, and then I'll just talk about my last personal rants. For those of you who haven't been following the news, there's this new amazing phone. It was about to come out. It's called the Samsung Galaxy Fold, and it's this amazing folding in half phone. It's a little bit more narrow than the iPhone. It's like maybe like that if you cut a couple inches off the iPhone, but it's exactly the same height. And what's cool is it's like a clamshell phone with a hinge that when you unfold it, there's one screen in the middle. So it's like a tablet that folds in half, and then there's a phone on the outside. Has all the same specs as the Samsung Galaxy S10, same camera, same internals, but it folds in half. And this is like magical to me. Like, this is a new advancement in technology and smartphones. These have pretty much just become slabs of glass, and it's hard to make them interesting. So I am so excited about this. I wish I could have gotten my hands on one. They're $2,000. I didn't even have enough money to pre-order it. But they sent out a lot of review units to a lot of YouTubers to check out. So the thing is, they've been breaking within a week. They've been breaking, sometimes towards human error, I think mostly to human error. But some people claim they didn't do anything and they've just been breaking. So I'm going to call out Marquez Brownlee. I don't know if you guys know or follow MKBHD. Great tech reviewer, awesome channel, love most of his stuff. He broke his unit because, and this is how a lot of people have broken their units. When he opened the box, first of all, there's a piece of plastic on the thing when you open the box that is protecting the screen. You know, most people like that have ever bought an iPhone or an iPad know the peel process that you do with a new device. So there was that, and the one that was in the box when you open the phone is a little bit different than normal. Like, the phone, when you open the box, comes already unfolded. And there's a screen protector on it, but it's a black screen protector. Instead of being clear like normal, it's a black screen protector on the middle, and then it's clear on the outside. So you peel that off. Well, Marquez and some other people noticed what looked like another screen protector on the phone screen, on the inside tablet screen, like that you would peel off, a plastic layer. So, unknowingly, kind of, I would say a little bit irresponsibly, started to peel off this plastic layer, instantly wrecking and destroying the device. Like, the device is unusable. I'll pull up some of the pictures here, and we only got a minute left before I have to switch over to the next recording session. But you should see these screens. Like, they're flickering and crazy black and terrible, and it destroys the phone. Now, I get it if you are a novice or not a professional tech reviewer to not be smart enough to know this. Marquez, I love you, and I'm sorry if you see this, but come on, man. Like, I in no world do I imagine me thinking that that was something you should peel off. Now, again, I haven't held the phone in my hands. I don't know. And now, I'm a person that when I buy new electronics, I like to leave that on. As long as it's not too thick and impeding on your experience, as long as you can still use it through, or if it's something that's just a piece of glass and you don't have to actually touch, I actually am the type of person that will leave that protective plastic layer on for a month, at least a couple weeks, and just to kind of get an idea and to protect the screen. Because then you have this device that you've had for a month or even a year sometimes, and you get to peel it off and it looks brand new. And you're like, holy crap, it's brand new again. Magic! Magic fake cuts that aren't real cuts, but sort of. So, I don't, without wanting to call my fellow YouTubers and tech reviewers stupid, because I don't want to use mean language like that. Everyone that I have seen talk about this device talks about how it's a Gen 1, it feels delicate, and you have to treat it differently than a normal smartphone would be treated. These smartphones have no moving parts. They haven't for years because that's dangerous. And this Samsung Fold has this crazy over-engineered hinge that Samsung tried to put a lot of thought into to make sure that this thing could be folded. And I think they've said that, like, they tested it up to 200,000 folds. And there's no problems. Now, in the tests online, they have, I can show it to you, they have this machine that's doing it repeatedly over and over and over again. And that's very unhuman. It's too precise to actually test real wear and tear, real world conditions. So, I get it. Look, here you go. I get it, and they were trying to, you know, see, look, you can see this. Let me turn my brightness down so you can see it. But this is basically like what they're doing. So this machine, while great, and I at least applaud Samsung for trying, it's not really like a real world test. Like, this thing does not test its durability in the real world. So people have been having problems not just with the plastic layer on the screen that they're peeling off, which I think is kind of ridiculous, but apparently someone else from The Verge, I think, was it The Verge? And this is funny. So if you guys watch John Redinger or Unbox Therapy, go check it out. They did a video and they talked about this. So John Redinger used to work at The Verge, or no, excuse me. He works with someone that used to work at The Verge, and they used to use modeling clay to attach it to the back of their phone so their phone would stand up and they could do these beautiful shots. Well, this person at The Verge's phone broke because, not because they peeled the plastic off the screen, but they were reporting bulges underneath the screen where the fold is. I guarantee you, once again, human error. They probably put molding clay on the fold right where the hinge is, and the way the hinge works, it's totally going to just eat up that clay and get inside the hinge. So, I'm sorry, but again, stupid. Come on, guys. You're going to learn really quickly how arrogant I am about a lot of these things, and it's not without justification. I am arrogant, and a lot of times it's also because I think things through a billion times. I'm really OCD. I'm an over-analyzer. There is nothing I do in life that I haven't thought about from every single angle a million times. I'm a perfectionist. So the ignorance, in my opinion, to treat this device in that way, I know a lot of you guys are going to be, there's been a lot of vitriolic commentary on the Samsung Galaxy Fold about how it's a terrible device, how dare Samsung release it, they're just trying to beat Huawei to the market with a folding phone. There's something to that. I don't think this was premature. I think they nailed it. I think this device is amazing. I wish I could get my hands on one. Right now, Samsung's recalling all of them. They're delaying the launch, and even the people that had working Galaxy Fold units Samsung is asking people to send them back, which sucks, because I think it's a game changer and I'm really excited for it. So I'm here to tell you right now, all you guys that think Samsung's fucked up, oops, sorry, that might have to be an edit. I'm gonna have to bleep that out because I don't want to. I'm trying to be PG here. That Samsung screwed up by releasing this phone ahead of when it was ready. It's a Gen 1. I applaud their ambition. I don't think that the phone isn't ready. I don't think people are ready for the phone. I think people are not treating it the way it should be treated. It is delicate. It's something new. I've said it a bunch of times, and I'll just stop harping on it, but I wish I could get my hands on one. I think it's amazing. I think all these people that are being pissed at Samsung, no, it's user error. It's not Samsung's fault. I get it. People are like, oh, it's so delicate. Yeah, it's a Gen 1. They're going to put a warning on it. Samsung, I think, is going to put a warning on it. They're delaying the launch because they're going to warn people not to peel that plastic part off. I guarantee you people are still going to do it. And they're also, I don't think they're going to make any changes. People are speculating that they're going to be able to change it and update it and make it better. How? What are they going to do? Unless they just don't release it? No. I think they should release it as is. They should give people a warning. And they should have a threshold of, if you do this and it breaks, it's your fault. If you don't do this and it breaks, we'll replace it. You know? Excuse me. I am just so mad about it. Because if I was going to buy any I'm an iPhone guy. I have an Apple Watch. I have an iPhone. If I was going to buy any phone right now on the planet, it would be the Samsung Galaxy Fold. That is a compelling phone. It's new. It's different. It's awesome. Please leave in the comments your thoughts about this. I know you're probably going to be like, you're stupid, blah, blah, blah. I stand behind it. I have a lot of research backing it up. I know what I'm talking about. So, anyway, that's the Samsung Galaxy Fold. We can get into some rants now. I'll talk about this. So, in relation to the Galaxy Fold, everything's still good? Okay, cool. People have been asking, when's Apple going to make a folding phone? Not for a while. They are not going to make a folding phone for a while. Not only have they not announced anything officially, but Apple is very seldomly the first to do anything. They are usually copycats. As much as I love them, they wait for other people to perfect something and then jump on board. They very rarely are the first in any space, you know? Think about the Apple Watch. How long did other smartwatches exist before it came around? They waited for other people to figure out the market and then they jumped in. That's just what they do. These days, I don't even think they're very innovative. I think the most innovative thing they've done is this, and even then I have so many complaints about it. Just the way the OS works and things that don't make sense. Like, why would you do that? For instance, one really quick one, but I'm not going to get too off topic. Anyone that has an Apple Watch knows, when you have notifications, you pull down from the top to see your new notifications. You see that little red dot. But to dismiss new notifications when they come in, you also swipe down. I can't tell you how many times a day I will be looking at my watch, I'll see the red dot, I'll go to pull down my notification center to look at notifications, and at that moment a new notification comes in and instantly gets dismissed without me even knowing what it was. There's so many notifications that I just miss because the action to dismiss a new notification is the same action to check your old notifications? That is terrible design. Who thought of that gesture? There needs to be a different gesture. And the other thing is, in the rest of iOS, dismissing a notification is a swipe to the left gesture. Why isn't that the universal gesture? Like, again, I'm not the one making these decisions. I'm just here to bring up good points. So, the reason Apple is doing terrible, why they haven't sold any of their iPhones lately, why they've been having a terrible year, why they've been pulling the iPhone R sales and production lines, is because their devices just aren't compelling. I'm running an iPhone 7 Plus still, and that's because this thing works great. It's still really fast, great camera. There's no reason to upgrade. And I also, by the way, hate the notch. As an OCD person, I prefer straight lines. I think the notch is one of the ugliest things to have ever graced the smartphone market in its history. And then Apple does it and everyone copies it. Like it's fun. Google had this unsightly notch that was crazy big, and they didn't even have the facial scanning technology. When you're Apple, you have to be more responsible. You're held to a higher standard. And I think the notch is just ugly and terrible. I would rather have huge bezels on my phone and a square top than a freaking notch. I hate it, and I will, unless I just have piles of money lying around, never spend my money on a notch phone, on a notch iPhone as my daily driver. As my daily driver. Even if I bought an iPhone 10 or 10s, I wouldn't use it as my daily driver because I hate the notch. I get it. It's beautiful. It's pretty. But Apple, you have more money than God. And these Chinese companies are thinking about better solutions to front-facing cameras than a notch. Come on, guys. Be more innovative. Again, Apple, not innovative. When I just bought this new iPad, it's not the iPad Pro, it's just the 6th gen. I finally started to understand some of the decisions they're making about like the control center. I still love this phone because I love the control center swipe up. I know the iPhone 10 has all the gestures and it's great. I've used my brother's. It's awesome. It's very nice. It's a pretty display. I really hate the notch like so bad. That if I had a 10, I would definitely disable it. I would put a wallpaper or something so I just couldn't see it. So I will never buy a notch phone as long as I live unless I have just piles of money lying around, or to review it, I would do it, but not for me. And I just don't think the design is that compelling. And there's a lot of things that I would be doing differently if I was Apple. That can be a whole nother episode. This is just the first episode. We'll leave it there for now, but they need to have 5G. They need to get rid of the notch. They need to... God, I wish they would bring the headphone jack back, but that's not going to happen. Also, people keep seeming to think that Apple's going to be going to USB-C? No! They're not going to be going to USB-C. I'm going to call out everything Apple Pro, even though I know he just does rumors. There's a lot of things he says that I'm like, as much as I appreciate him and I appreciate his efforts, I'm like, dude, think about it first. The whole reason Lightning was invented, 30-pin adapters back in the day, was because Apple loves their closed ecosystem. I know the iPad has USB-C now, one measly USB-C port, which is dumb. It should have at least two, in my opinion. One for charging and one for peripherals, like the MacBook. I just don't see them going to USB-C on the iPhone anytime soon. I know a lot of people are bummed to hear that. I don't think it's going to happen. And I don't think, if I was Apple, I wouldn't do it. Now, granted, it would be great. I'd have to replace all my docks that are Lightning, but it would be nice to have a universal USB-C connector on the iPhone. If I was Apple, I would never do it. I wouldn't switch to USB-C. It's already there. We're already dealing with the Lightning port, and people are, as much as they complain, they live with it and they accept it and they buy iPhones. So why would you switch? And then they can't license all their made-for-iPhone products? Like, I don't know. I don't see it happening. All right, we're getting towards the end. In lieu of not going towards an hour and 40 minutes, I'm going to try and wrap this up in 7 minutes. So I have one last gripe to say, and this is on a personal matter. FedEx, Federal Express. What the hell are you doing? Let me explain. So, like I said, I just got back from Peru. About a week ago. I went to Peru for 13 days. Went to Machu Picchu. Really amazing. I ordered a box of contact lenses, because I didn't want to be traveling and going to Machu Picchu with my glasses. So I ordered a fresh box of contacts for this trip because I was out of them. I was wearing my last pair. And first of all, 1-800-CONTACTS was terrible. I paid like $25 extra for premium one-day shipping. Ordered it on a Friday. Was supposed to leave the following Tuesday. At night, mind you, Tuesday at 10 p.m. Still hadn't gotten there by Tuesday at 5 p.m. when I was supposed to leave for the airport. That's a separate thing, but paying for premium one-day shipping, even if it's business shipping, if I order on Friday, even if it doesn't come Monday, should come Tuesday. So I have to call 1-800-CONTACTS out for being really terrible and needing to refund my money. But my friend was nice enough to say, you know what, if you need your contacts, I'll go pick them up from your house when they're there, and I'll mail them to you in Peru. And I'm like, great, that sounds awesome. So she went to FedEx. She had to pay an inordinate amount of money, which we didn't discuss this ahead of time. If I knew it was going to be $150 to ship $100 worth of contacts to Peru while I was there, I probably would have said no. But $150 guaranteed delivery at the second hotel I was supposed to stay at in Peru on like the 7th day. That's halfway through the trip. That's great. That means I'll at least have contacts halfway through. Well, FedEx, one of the biggest international global shipping companies in the world, still has my contacts. They never got to me in Peru. I got back here, nothing. I've called them. They're stuck in customs at Peru. Apparently, when they were shipped, even though my friend asked very specifically, is there anything I need? Didn't even rewrap the box. Took the original 1-800-CONTACTS box and just put a new label on it to ship towards my hotel. Stuck in customs. Apparently we needed some medical waiver to ship contacts because it's a medical product, even though it's not like medicine or anything. So the bottom line is FedEx is screwing up big time. I'm never going to ship anything through FedEx again. It's a freaking joke. They won't return the package. They won't refund my money. And they're trying to ask me to pay to have the contacts shipped back to me, another $140, and then I have to make a claim? No. No. You had one job, FedEx. You ship internationally. I paid a crap ton of money to ship that. And 3 weeks later, still no contacts. It blows my mind. And I've talked to someone every single day on the phone trying to get this resolved. I keep being passed around. They keep saying they're going to call me back. They don't. They're like refusing to refund my money, even though it was guaranteed. They're going to make me pay more to ship it back and then file a claim? No. And meanwhile, I'm out the $100 for the contacts, and I can't see. So I'm sorry I'm getting heated, but I'm putting FedEx on blast. This is unacceptable. You have one job. You're a shipping company. If I needed some other paper to ship it, you should have told me then. That's why I go to the FedEx store to ship internationally, so you can tell me what I need. And also, just give me the damn contacts back or refund my money. It's that simple. Guaranteed delivery never happened, and you haven't returned them. So, this is crazy. I want to put it out there and put it on blast. I know this is a personal news thing, but it is unbelievable how big of a failure FedEx is doing right now. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to get the contacts back at this point, which means I'm going to have to file a claim and do all this ridiculousness. Like, what were you thinking? What is anyone thinking? You're a terrible, terrible company. This is bull. All right? Fix yourself, please. Oh, and that's it, guys. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I know it's been a long episode of news and rants and opinions. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. There's a lot of things I didn't even get to talk about. I hit all my bullet points. I wanted to actually rant more about Apple and Samsung Fold and all this stuff. Oh, Samsung, Apple has to buy the display from Samsung, because you know that Apple displays are Samsung made, so I don't see the Apple folding phone happening anytime soon. But anyway, I'm going to end it now before we have to go into yet another 20-minute segment of unedited. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Leave comments down below of what you did or didn't like, and if you'd like to see something else on the next episode. Please hit that subscribe button and turn on your alerts, because that totally helps us in making future videos like this. I got a lot of great content from Peru coming. I have a video from Machu Picchu coming that's going to be awesome. If you guys want to see Machu Picchu in person, that's going to be great. I'm going to have a link to donate money to people, not to me, but to help the people in Peru, because we're taking a collection. I'm all out of order. There's already a bunch of money that's been taken to restore Notre Dame, by the way. They raised like $700 million, so that will be restored. So that's cool. Hopefully that's good. I want to raise money to help the people in Peru. I also, last year, did a video to help people in Colombia, because we can build homes for them for pretty cheap. So just get on board, guys. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully it was half as much fun for you as it was for me, and it wasn't super annoying. There's a lot more tech news out there. There's no shortage of exciting things happening in the world. It's a great freaking time to be alive. 2019. I'm really excited. And this is just the beginning. So thank you, guys. Hope you have a great night and day. And I will see you guys next week for next week's edition of Frank's Weekly News. I'll make sure to phone it in. I don't know if that's going to be the catchphrase, if it's too stupid or not. But check back. I'll see you next week, but I'll probably have some videos before then too, just not this weird semi-live news format thing. Again, experimental stuff. I'm just happy my light didn't die, because I didn't know if my light was going to last all the time and we were going to have issues. Seems like this is great, so I'm rambling. Thanks, guys. Take care. Peace. Whew. Did I hit everything? Looks like I hit everything. Got 5 seconds left.